Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on Sports Talk. If you don't know me, if you don't already know who I am, my name is William Allen. I am the host of Sports Talk Unplugged, a channel I started last year, and I enjoy doing this. Love talking about sports, man. So this is what I do right now. So today on Sports Talk Unplugged, what I'm getting into, man, first of all, is I got to talk about the NFL. Of course, you know, they got the divisional rounds going on right now. So I got to dive into what's going on with it. So before that gets done, my intro. Let's get it. Nah, for real. Let's get it. So if you watched the divisional games this weekend, what you saw was a big defensive matchup, especially on the side of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, I hate to say it, man, because I got a lot of homeboys that are actually New Orleans Saints fans, and I know they love Who Dat Nation. I know they do, man. A lot of guys from Louisiana here in Texas. That's where I'm at in Texas, man. But I got to tell you, man, that game was actually like 20-20 coming up in the fourth quarter, man. I mean, you couldn't even really tell which way the game was going to go. You knew who had the momentum. All right, so you knew who had the momentum, and Tom Brady was definitely bringing this team back. New Orleans never really just caught fire really after they scored 20 points. Couldn't really get things going, especially with Michael Thomas. Brees had 134 yards passing, 1 TD, but the thing is, he had 3 interceptions. Anytime a QB goes into a game where they throw that many picks, it's not going to be good for your football team, all right? I like what Jameis Winston did, though. He came in, he actually threw a 56-yard TD pass. I thought that was spectacular. Maybe that's a sign of things to come, because I'm not really sure that Drew Brees is going to be coming back next year. Alvin Kamara, which is basically a fantasy superstar every single year since he's been in the league, he only had 85 yards rushing. He didn't even have a TD, so that lets you know a little bit about what was going on in that game. All signs point to your guy, man. I mean, basically, Tom Brady it wasn't like he was super spectacular in this game, but he did the job. He did what needed to be done for his football team to win this game. He didn't have a lot of mistakes. He threw for 199 yards, had 2 TDs. And you got to look at his overall resume. He's made it to the conference championship game 14 times. That says a lot about Tom Brady and his career. Of course, before this, he was in New England. But no telling what he's going to do this year, all right? Tom Brady is 43 and Drew Brees is 42, man. These are 2 great QBs, man. And I really do hate to see Drew Brees go. I really do, man, because I actually think that Brees is a great quarterback, all right? So it is what it is, man. So let's move on a little bit, though. Let's talk about let's get into this Browns and Chiefs game. Now, the Browns lost this game, all right? It was 17-22. I know they lost this game, but let's just dive on into a little bit of this game right here, because I feel like that once Patrick Mahomes went down with the concussion, he had some injuries early in this game, and then he had a concussion. But I actually thought that the Browns were going to come back in this game and try to win it. This is a great pass right here. I really like the Browns, man, and I think that they have a great future ahead of them. 2 great running backs. Baker Mayfield is doing his thing. Landry should be coming back. They've got a couple of other great wide receivers. I don't think they should bring back Odell Beckham, though. I think the chemistry with him is just a little bit off. So I don't really see him coming back. But Baker Mayfield threw for 204 yards, a TD. Nick Chubb ran for 69 yards. Patrick Mahomes actually had 255 yards and a TD. Like I said, he had a concussion. He was out in the third quarter. Brown should have taken advantage of this. Tyreek Hill, though, had 110 yards. Travis Kelce had 109 yards and a TD. So that's what it is right there. Them Browns, man, I'm sure they'll be back. But what will Kansas City do, though? Is this the year they're going to win the Super Bowl or what? Because I don't know. They don't look as explosive as they did last season, all right? So it is what it is. But I tell you what, let's move on to this game right here, man. Ravens versus Buffalo. All right, so I'm definitely upset about this game, period, because I'm a Tennessee Titan fan, like off the top. I'm just going to tell you that off the top. We fell short. The Titans fell short. Offensive line was basically depleted, so we really couldn't do what we needed to do with Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry was frustrated. And it shows you the reason why really the Titans should have been there. But in this game, since we're just talking about this game, Lamar Jackson didn't really have the game that most people thought he was going to have, because see this run right here, how he runs? He didn't really have those runs in this game where he just takes off and he just runs all the way down the field like he did on the Titans on that one play that he got against the Titans. He only threw for 162 yards. He had an interception. Josh Allen, I feel like, is a great young QB. It's not enough you can say about these young QBs, though. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, you know, you got a slew of them. Baker Mayfield, you got some guys, man. You got some guys that are leaving, like Brady and Brees that are leaving, and you got these guys that are coming in and stepping up, and they're going to be great QBs. You got some guys even that are going to be drafted this year that could possibly be great QBs as well. So with that being said, that's the score of that game. Was Ravens 3, the Bills was 17. Stephon Diggs actually had a great game. He had 8 receptions for 160 yards and a TD. So, but yeah, that was a great game right there. So let's move on, man. Let's talk about this Rams and this Packers game right here, man. Let's move along right here, man. I'm chilling tonight. This game right here basically lets every team in the NFL know that Green Bay Packers have an offensive line and a defensive line. So in the trenches, they're not to be played with. Unless you bring your A game on every single snap, these guys are going to be after you, and they have pressure coming from the ends and from the defensive tackles. Offensive line, they got one of the best left tackles. I can't even remember the guy's name, man. This left tackle for this Green Bay team is a beast. He's great. He's a great player. The whole team is great. Aaron Rodgers in that game, 296 yards and 2 TDs. Aaron Jones had 99 yards and a TD. Alan Lazard had 96 yards and a TD. Devontae Adams had 66 yards and a TD. He blew up on the Titans. There's not enough you can say about what Devontae Adams can do when you try to press cover him on the line. You try to put your hands on him. He has the ability to get away from any cornerback trying to put his hands on him, try to stop him from running this route. Golf in this game only had, man, it doesn't even matter really. Cam Akers, 90 yards and a TD. Rams lose this game to the Packers, 18-32. All right, so I know it's a lot of Packers fans, man. I know a lot of Packers fans too, man, that are excited about the direction of this team. Because, I mean, I actually feel like that the Packers probably have the best team right now in the NFL, man. It's not enough you can say about Aaron Rodgers, man. Like I said, man, he tore up my Titans one of those weeks. I mean, he just basically lit them up. So, man, you already know, man. But also, I got to talk about something else that happened at that game that was actually it was different. So, you had a sideline reporter. Everybody knows about Pam Oliver. They talking about Pam this, Pam that, you know, how she didn't sound good, you know, in third quarter, you know, so they asked her to give a report on the sidelines, and they're saying she sounded a little sluggish or whatnot. And, I mean, you know what? Pam has been through a lot, man. I got to take up for Pam, man, because I feel like, man, she is a great sideline reporter, man. That's real talk, man. She's a veteran NFL sideline reporter for Fox Sports. She's been there for 25 years, man. At one point, they tried to take her job at one point. But you know what? She was so professional about it, and it got out that they kept her for a lifetime contract. I don't know if it's a lifetime contract, but basically she's there for, I believe, as long as she wants to. You know, she's been through a lot. You know, she has a lot of health issues, especially with like dealing with migraines. Sometimes she has to go in the tunnels of the fields because, you know, the lights, the sound. Sometimes she just has to chill because she has some, you know, she has debilitating migraines sometimes. And, you know, it is what it is. And I've never had migraines, but some of you guys know what it's like to have those. My sister has experienced those before. So some of you guys know what it's about, man. But it's a lot that goes on with Pam Oliver, man. You know, she was actually, you know what surprised me? She was a sports star in high school, all right? She attended Florida A&M. She was an All-American in the 400 meter and the mile relay, all right? So she graduated in 1984 with a bachelor's degree, in broadcasting journalism. All right, so Pam Oliver is definitely, man, Pam Oliver is awesome to me. You know, and like I said, man, just continuing my talk about her, her husband, Alvin Whitney, after they got married in 1990, she was diagnosed with, I think it's called uterine fibroid. Well, I guess what that means is she can't have any kids, but her husband was actually in a previous marriage, all right? And he has 3 girls, and Pam Oliver treats his 3 girls like they're her own. So kudos to Pam Oliver, man, and what she does, man. I look up to her, man. Salute. Definitely. So, man, let's encourage, let's build up, you know, let's build up Pam Oliver, man. Well, at least I will on my end, that's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on Sports Talk. I am your host, William Allen. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to my channel, man. Hit that like button, man. Press like, man. Subscribe to my channel. Every show isn't a great show, man. But you know what? We're going to keep doing this, man. I love doing this, talking about sports. Real talk. Sports Talk, unplugged. Let's get it.